This is Impact Play with Dr. J, where sports, entertainment, philanthropy, and purpose meet. I'm your host, Dr. J, and every story here is about using your platform to create real change. Stick around and let's get into it. So welcome to Impact Play with Dr. J. I am Dr. Francesca Jones, but everyone calls me Dr. J. And Impact Play, we dive deep into sports, philanthropy, entertainment, and how it creates lasting impact in communities. And so today's episode is all about youth development and the role that it plays in shaping our future leaders. And so I want to tell everybody baseball has always been the pastime, America's pastime. But for many youth, children, and athletes, they haven't had access to it. They haven't had access to the game and the opportunities that it affords. And so it hasn't always been easy. And so there's programs like the Major League Baseball, Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities, or RBI, that really come into play and to help our youth in that regard. And so we're joined by Raphael Collins. I hope I got that right.
That's it.
All right. So Assistant Director of Community Impact and Diversity Initiatives with the Cleveland Guardians. Got that right, too?
You got that right.
Okay. And so who is working firsthand in a lot of these different initiatives to help things be more accessible, mentorship and leadership, and our players being closer to our youth in the city of Cleveland. So just thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. But before we dive deep into our topic, I always like to ask some rapid fire questions of my guests on every guest episode. So the first thing that comes to mind, I like the listeners to get to know you a little bit more.
Sure.
Before, beyond your work. Okay. So you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So we're going to talk about your first sports memory. So what was your earliest memory playing or watching sports?
My earliest memory watching sports is I remember Sunday afternoons rushing home from church for Browns, like Bernie Kosar, watching football with my dad, my granddad, my grandmother, and my grandfather betting every Sunday. My grandma always betting on the Browns.
What?
My grandfather always betting against the Browns. But those moments of it was just must watch TV. It was rushing home, my family still getting together and just spending the day together. And then experience playing is I grew up in I grew up in a sports family.
Nice.
As the seasons change, we play every sport.
I know that's right.
And so it was just always being surrounded by my siblings and by my parents, kind of my whole life growing up, every sport, football, baseball, basketball, swimming, you name it, we did it. So
Nice.
those earliest memories, it's just something I'll probably never forget.
So your sports memories are tied to fam, the fam.
Yeah.
I love it.
Connecting generations of family too. So not just just my household, but my grandfather, my uncles, all of us.
That's really dope. And that's really similar to me. I come from a sports family. That's what we do, okay? Yeah. Amongst each other. It doesn't matter if man, woman, young, old. And it's just really dope to see it come down the generations. And even to my daughter, who she's the best smack talker. When I tell you, she is the best. She be getting them, okay? All right, so the next one is dream team or players. So if you can play for any team in history or alongside any athlete, who would it be?
Any team in history or any athlete? Born and raised in Cleveland. And so I always go for the hometown.
All right.
So if I'm going to say any team, I'm going to say the 95 Cleveland Indians.
So dope. That's a good period.
The personalities on there, I just feel it would have been a lot of fun. Whether you play or not, I feel it was a good time in Cleveland, sports moments. It was just, when you think about the personalities and the people and just, I would say that would probably be the team.
Yeah. So when I think about, you mean Albert Bills?
Bell, Lofton, Baerga,
Ramirez.
Manny, yeah.
Yes.
That would have been a time.
Yeah, I just feel like you really needed to be on top of your woosah game.
Yeah.
Dealing with them because you had Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People forget about the culture too. you read about these stories like Montel Jordan, like dropping this how we do it, and like it's in the clubhouse first because Kenny got a sneak. Like so, like to me, like it was more than just a game, but it was like the cultural aspect of it too. Like all of it together, it just seemed like it would have been a good time, like a good moment in time.
They had a lot of swag.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
They had a lot of swag. All right. So we're gonna go outside of sports and philanthropy and stuff. What is one skill or hobby that you have that most people don't know about?
A skill or hobby that most people don't know about? I share a lot with a lot of people. So it is
open book.
Yeah. You know what? This is something a product. No, that's a good question.
I love stumping people with this question. Mainly because people stump me with the same question.
Okay, here go one. For a lot of people that know me, or at least like growing up throughout school, whether in my family, whoever it might be, everybody always know like I love being surrounded by people. Okay. So whether it be friends, whether it be my fraternity, like no matter where I've met you at, like I enjoy being like around people, and I think people enjoy being around me too. But the other thing I would say is, as much like if you was to ask people would just tell you like, oh yeah, like that's just like how he is. Yeah. But like deep down inside, I very, very much enjoy my privacy. I am still a very, very private person. As much open as I am, like I love those like moments when I can just be by myself and just relax and just kind of like, again, just like focus on myself a little bit. And so. Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm what do they call it? I'm a introverted extrovert.
Yeah. I'm gonna touch a little. Yeah. Give me a little bit of both of those.
Yeah. No, before like big events and stuff like that, I gotta go chill. Or like right after, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like my husband already knows. Like I'm going right upstairs to make a burrito out of myself and watch The Crown or something like that. Yeah. Like since I'm done with people in for that day. No, yep. I agree. So you said fraternity. What fraternity?
Iota Phi Theta.
Okay. I see you, Divine Nine. Shout out to the Divine Nine. I'm part of the illustrious Kappa Alpha sorority.
Okay.
So, I see the D9 in the house. All right, and the last one, I asked everybody, if you had to describe your mission or your impact in one word, what would it be?
My mission or impact?
One word now.
Connector.
I like it. Connector. That's strong. Why?
Again, like I feel like everybody that know me, like the role that I play amongst my friend groups, amongst my family, like if it's a tough time or if it's a good time, everybody always know, like reach out to me because I will connect you. If my siblings is getting after it, like I'm gonna be the one, all right, it's time, this is over with. Like let's figure it out. Or my friends or even at work, like people know, like you get into a tough thing at work, like you know it's gonna be a lot of them. Yes. But I'm usually the one that bring people together, the connector, the one, like that's usually like my purpose or my role.
I love it. The great connector. I'm gonna remember that too.
Yeah.
Raphael, that's a great connector. We're gonna go with him. So we want the listener to know a little bit about your journey and how you got involved with community impact and, you know, what you do for the Guardians. Like, so tell us a little bit about your journey and how that started.
Sure. So I am a graduate of CMSD schools.
Nice.
K through 12.
Nice.
And it's a journey growing up in the inner city.
Yeah.
And the experiences you have growing up in the inner city, going to public school education. I grew up in a very, very large family. Mom and dad both present in the household, both providers, and did absolutely everything for us.
Yes.
But also, like, I also understood too, like in the same time, like we had humble upbringing, you know. But some of my siblings was fortunate to go to Catholic schools and private schools and things like that, and so it was a very unique way to understand, like, live firsthand experience.
Yes.
But then to also understand, like, from some of my other siblings who was able to get out that bubble, what their experiences were, and like understanding, like, it's not all the same.
No.
So graduating from high school, going to college. I went to University of Toledo.
Nice. Go Rockets. My dad's a Rocket. My go all them.
And as much as I thought I understood Cleveland and like whatever it was, like you need somewhere to go, you need somewhere to eat, you want something to do, like I knew exactly where I wanted to go. And then you go to Toledo,
Yes.
and it was the culture shock of all culture shocks.
Yes. T-Town.
I had to meet and make all new friends who were not, who never, no way identify as me. The movies that I watched and the music that I enjoyed, they never heard of. I never heard of their jokes. And so
Yes.
it like you had to make a serious investment in people
Yes.
to actually like learn them and hope that they wanted to like invest to learn you. And you find friend groups who are willing to do that. But that was just a very like, I think the education, just like the livelihood experience that I had, you know, you go into schools that's predominantly Black and African American, where you can count on one hand how many people identify outside of that.
Yeah.
And then you go to another place where you are now that small group, you know? But it was an incredible experience because it started to prepare me for the next chapter, even though I didn't understand or know it. So I graduate. I did an internship that really started my thirst to like want to work in sports. And so I'll speed this up a little bit because I know but I did this internship in the athletic marketing department, and it just gave me a taste of collegiate sports from the side that people don't know. Like the side that like you can turn your TV on, you can see all these great things happening on TV from beautiful production, or you can go to a game.
Yes.
And you can see everything that just happens. But like they gave me a taste of like behind the scenes, like all the hard work and all the people that do every single thing every single day.
Yes.
So when you show up, you just have this phenomenal experience.
Yes.
So I graduate and understanding like it's very, very tough to work in sports.
Yes.
It's not just like it's not even like how connected you are, how smart you are. It's also good timing. It is a lot of factors that go into like working in sports. And again, like doors just kept opening for me, whether I knew they would or if they wouldn't. And you know, you just take a leap of faith. And my very first job in sports was working for the Cavs.
Nice. What were you doing?
I was doing ticket sales, night sales, not even regular ticket sales. I was doing night sales.
What's the difference?
The difference is, let me back up into this. The difference is my first year working for the Cavs. You remember the first time LeBron left?
I do.
Okay. The difference is night sales, like you come in at like 6:30 and you just call people at nighttime on the phone from 6:30 to 10. And you're trying to tell them to buy tickets.
Oh, I got a call from people like that.
Yeah. And you selling a product that don't have LeBron no more, heartbroken people who, like, we set the NBA record that year for most losses in a row.
I was there. Yeah.
And it was the most fulfilling experience I probably could have had as a professional. Wow. I had no desire to ever work in sales. I also understood, too, like, right after I got hired there, the Cleveland Indians like offered me a marketing internship, which is what I went to school for.
Right.
So I accepted it, but it didn't start for months.
Okay.
So I go to the Cavs. I'm doing night sales. They're teaching you all these sales, you know, how do you host a convo and all this stuff. And you learning like how to deal with rejection. You learning how to create sales proposals, to advocate not just for like yourself, but for the big, like you're learning all these different things that like, yes, essentially you are just trying to get people to buy season tickets, group tickets, premium seats, or whatever it might be, but you're getting so many other tools at the same time.
Right.
And then at the same time, you know, just voicing and letting people know, like, I was able to shadow at that time. She was the director of marketing. Her name was Tracy Merrick.
Okay.
She became the CMO of an NBA team. Like, I don't know how many female CMOs there are in the NBA, but I got to like shadow her during her early years, and it was like an incredible experience. So even before I started like this other journey working in baseball, my short time at the Cavs, I was able to learn so much, and it prepared me for like the next step.
I really like the fact that you talk about utilizing, like, so when you describe the night sales piece of that, I'm like, I know I hung up on a few folks that called me during the nighttime. I'm like, what are you calling me with? But I also realized that I actually became a season ticket holder during that time.
Okay.
Well, I did. I was like, oh, let me buy low. And
Why it's low?
Why it's low. And then, you know, that whole thing. But no, honestly, like that you brought out and learned something from that situation. And that want to have something transpire where you pick up a skill or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Out of all of that. So you said it. Okay. So then now you go to your internship at the Guardians
Started at the Guardians,
or the Indians at the time.
Indians at that time.
Yeah.
And again, like all these people, like I've never really worked for a bad person before. Everyone's been different.
Mm-hmm.
But I started to go at the Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm working for a guy who's very meticulous. He never misses a detail with anything. I'm telling you, I don't know what his true calling was, but I'm telling you, he never, and like to work underneath that and like understand that you have to follow this person and
Yes.
to earn their trust.
Yes.
Again, like that was another layer of like, again, like professional development for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he made it fun for me too, you
Nice.
know? But you also understood like, don't mess up. You know what I mean?
He gonna catch it.
Yeah. And so I did that, but I'll fast forward and I ended up doing corporate partnerships for about 10 years.
Okay.
So you work with companies, mostly marketing teams and sponsorship teams. And you really just like, you harness the power of sports, the impressions that you gather, the people that follow, the platform that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to share that with other people who want to invest in your team.
Okay.
So, you know, you just pick any big company or even small companies, like whatever it is. The beautiful thing about that was in that type of role, you need to understand like what makes every business good. The people that you're working with,
There it is.
why are they successful?
Mm-hmm.
How do you stop them from failing? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You need to be their strongest advocate. So you learn a lot about a lot of industries because you have to be the internal champion
Yes.
for all those different companies.
I keep hearing you say the word advocacy and champion. Like I feel like you kept just like getting stronger and like being able to do different pieces for different audiences. Sounds like in terms of the work that you're doing. So you never left out of the organization from that standpoint, or you kind of stayed?
I stayed there.
Okay.
I did that for about 10 years and moved into this space now, this community impact, social impact, philanthropy role. And
Was that intentional or?
it was.
Okay.
So what I would say is like corporate partnerships for me was like, it was incredible. I did very, very good at it, and not in an arrogant way,
Yeah.
but it was, I did very well.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. It was everything that I wanted to do. It gave me life experiences that I never could have had on my own.
Right.
But also like understanding like I wanted something a little bit more purposeful and fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of work, I would volunteer on all these different nonprofit boards and I would give all my time and I would just exhaust myself. I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had the time, the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, like some of our leaders just said like, hey, we see all the good work you're doing. Why don't you do it for us? And it was one of those like, wait a minute. It make all the sense in the world. Like I can get some of my time back. I can do the same stuff that impact the same people the things that are exactly like, you know, my three things that I've always cared about. Sports, family, and education.
There you go.
Oh, I can do that for a living. And then I can use all those tools that I got from in the past. Like you can take every company with you now to support and amplify your work. You have those relationships now.
Wow.
You have this deep relationship with everyone that you need, not just like gatekeepers or whoever, like the most powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
You know them directly and they know you and they trust you. And for 10 years, like you helped their business thrive. And now you come into them with a community program that's in their interest to support.
Dope.
Yeah.
That was a great setup.
Not intentional, just.
That was a great setup, though. Like, I mean, honestly, like for people that work in philanthropy, it's all about relationships. And so, like for me, like when I went into philanthropy, like I was very intentional about building my relationships in each sector, but making sure they're genuine relationships.
Yes.
And I just feel like you were kind of working like, you know, like even like, you know, God was like, hey, we're gonna put you here, and that's gonna set you up for this, and like it just worked itself on out.
In the moment, I never knew though. My first year working in marketing, I would have told myself I could have been comfortable doing that for 20 years.
Nice.
And like just different doors kept opening, just like you said, like, you know, you take a leap of faith.
Yes.
And like you just know that the right doors will open and like your path, your story's already already written, already
written.
told, you know? Yeah.
But you were brave enough to kind of like take the next step into it, like where sometimes I feel like people are like, well, I'm comfortable here. What's the term? Good is the enemy of great.
Yes.
Yes. And so like that's kind of like me, even like with this podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm great. I'm doing well, helping my clients and being a philanthropic consultant and being a professor. And then the Lord was like, hey, no, you're going to illuminate impact. You're going to do this and this and this, and you're going to write a book and you're going to this. I'm like, well, Lord, I'm cool where I'm at, But now we're here.
Yeah.
We're here with it. That's what's up. I love it. So for those who may not know, and so we're going to transition and talk about a little bit more about RBI. For those who don't know about Major League Baseball RBI program, could you talk about what it is and why it's important?
Sure. So, Major League Baseball RBI program is rebuilding baseball in inner cities.
Okay.
It started in Los Angeles, South Central LA, and it kind of grew into this big thing where essentially underrepresented and marginalized people, how do you introduce them to the game of baseball and softball and also encourage academic achievement with the hope of hopefully getting more people of color into the major leagues.
Got you.
Or just being productive citizens wherever they choose to be home.
Got you.
Now with that small program started in South Central LA has blossomed to this global program that's in 200 cities, over 120,000 youth in different countries, Latin America, Caribbean islands, Hawaii, Asia, from all over the place.
Nice.
And essentially, for us here in Cleveland, what it is if you were to ask any of our RBI kids, not kids, young men and women, they think they are just a minor league team of the Cleveland Guardians because that's how we treat them.
Okay.
So we, Cleveland Guardians Charities and our nonprofit board supports this, funds it almost 100%.
Wow.
League sponsors like Nike have gone behind it, just understanding the power of their brand. How do we get more younger people to... Brands mean a lot.
They do.
And they can play a very, very strong role. And Nike has leaned into it to say, we feel like we can be helpful here.
Good.
And not just with their platform, but with real dollars too.
Okay.
And essentially here in Cleveland, 75% of our teams are either CMSD student athletes or City of Cleveland kids.
Okay.
It's not exclusively that because we understand too, like the makeup of our program. I talked about this before. You have people who grow up in the inner city. There's like studies that's been done that says like, I think you never leave within 6 square miles of like where you're grown. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've seen them before. I think John Hopkins did one in Baltimore or something. But so we understand like, again, like that life experience that a lot of our kids have, they probably need to be exposed to some people outside of their bubble.
Agreed.
And people outside our bubble need to be exposed to them too.
I agreed.
And so we bring in other people from other places from all of Northeast Ohio. And we encourage them to come and be a part of our program. And you see a beautiful thing. You see, half of our team who their parents speak Spanish as a first language. You see boys and girls, literally come from all walks of life. And when they're with us, it is a beautiful thing to see. It is a beautiful thing to see.
Now you're going to have me like, I'm going to have to go come out and like see something and cover it for Impact Play.
Please.
Yes.
I'm telling you the stories. The stories is incredible that come out of this program. Essentially, we tell people there's no cost to join our program.
Okay.
We cover every single cost, every equipment need, every uniform need, every travel need. Our kids playing across the country.
Wow.
The goal is to MLB hosts RBI World Series. And the great thing about it is Vero Beach, Florida. When you think about, it's a beautiful town. But 78, 79 years ago, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier.
I remember
that. He was signed by the Dodgers, and he went to spring training in Vero Beach, Florida. The dorms that he lived in, still there, is where our kids stay. The fields that he played on is where our kids play on.
Wow.
MLB is invested in it. It's the old Dodger town, and it's a beautiful complex. and they get to play on the same fields that, again, like this, Jackie integrated all of sports.
Indeed.
And
Not
like
just
they
in
get to be in that moment, in that space where like that happened.
Do you feel like they take that in? Like,
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
It is, they may not understand, again, like our program goes from ages 10 to even through college.
Oh, really?
So 2 years ago, we started with, 2 years ago, not started, but 2 years ago, we had 3 teams. This thing has grown. We're up to 7 teams, and we'll probably have 8 by the end of this calendar year.
Wow.
But the gravity of like the Jackie Robinson moment,
Yeah.
it is the crown jewels with every RBI, all 120,000 play for. They want to go there. They want to have this experience. When they're there, they get coached on from MLB on like, all the things that was important to Jackie, his legacy. And again, like all these free things that we give to kids, the price that they pay is we ask them for their time to commit to our program. And we ask that they give back no matter what humble or what circumstance or traumas that they have. Like we want them to understand like they can still give back.
Wow.
And so that's the cost that they pay.
Wow.
But it's a beautiful program.
Well, share with us at least one story from Cleveland RBI that we can take with us.
Okay, here's a good story. This was a couple years ago now. But we were in Chicago. We took a team to play as like a regional tournament. You win that and you go to Vero Beach.
Okay.
Our boys are very competitive.
Okay.
Our girls are even more competitive. Like our girls are very, very good. So shout out to the girls.
All right.
But the boys, like we went there with really like high hopes, and they didn't start off really well.
Okay.
Lost a couple of games, and we're riding on the team bus. After they lose a couple of games, like it felt like a funeral.
Oh.
You got all these kids out of town. Some of the kids had never left Cleveland before. This is their first time they've ever left the city of Cleveland.
And this happens.
Yeah. And one of the coaches, like one of the kids goes to the coach, and I just hear like convo in the back of the bus. I knew it was something for me, but I didn't know what it was. And then one of the coaches is like, hey, like, can we stop at the Nike store? And I'm telling you, these are city of Cleveland kids. None of them have jobs.
Right.
None of them like the majority of them don't have jobs. And and they're talking about the Nike store on Michigan Ave.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
The Nike store.
Yes. So, you know what? I was just like, I don't know why, but I was like, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Like, we stopped the bus let everybody out. We go into the Nike store. I know most of these kids cannot afford to buy nothing in there, okay?
They just wanted to go to the Nike store.
They just wanted to go. Like, I probably had no business in the store. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we in there, and next thing you know, you just see everything happen, just kids just having a good time, kids talking about different Jordan models that they love. And you got one kid, I hope he listened to this podcast.
I'm going to send it to him.
Yeah, I hope he listened. I would send it to him. He in college right now. He playing college baseball. And he just picked out a few things off the rack, and he turned the store into his runway, fashion runway.
Oh, okay.
Now, he can't afford nothing he put on. But his energy and his enthusiasm, and like, it just made him feel good.
Right.
And it made the other boys feel good. And it's time to go. And I was like, all right, we've been here long enough, because we was in there for quite a while. And it's one kid that was on our team. He played college baseball too right now.
Nice.
And he's not from the city of Cleveland. He grew up in a very affluent neighborhood. Neighbors are doctors and lawyers and everything, like very, very affluent. His words, not mine. But he's never like really had he's never been in a position where he couldn't get what he wanted or desired. And then we're checking out, and like he bought him something, and like everything he bought was actually for the kid that was trying on all the clothes and everything.
Oh.
And he gives him this, and like the kid is in tears, and his teammates and like everyone is, and like they had this moment in the store where you got this kid, he had this life-changing moment being around all these other kids.
And it changed the way he looked at things.
Exactly. Wow. And then from there, they never lost a game. They found out, it was one of those moments where like everybody's huddled up in the hotel watching the last game on a live stream, because if one team loses, our boys go to Vero Beach.
Oh, so they were in it.
They was in it. We got pizza. We in a hotel room. Everybody crowded in a hotel. And like the last outcome, boom, our kids is going to Florida.
Oh my goodness, great.
Yeah, it was an incredible moment. It just kind of started again from this trip to the Nike store. You know, our shortstop at the time, like, he was just overcome with emotion. He's just like, I want to do this for my teammate. His teammate and everybody just rallying around him, getting on the bus, having a team dinner. Next thing you know, like finding out, getting text messages like, hey, like we still got a chance.
You got a chance.
Everybody huddling up in a room, watching the game. Next thing you know, I'm more worried about the hotel saying we too loud. Like, you know what I mean?
Kicked out, right.
Yeah, but it was just a good experience all the time. And I'm glad like all those kids had that experience. 'Cause I know that even our coaches, like they'll never forget that moment.
I love all of that. I mean, honestly, the camaraderie, it sounds like there's a camaraderie that happens. And I also think, like, as you talk about RBI, like they're able to meet different people, have different experiences. Exposure matters. Exposure matters in youth development, okay? So, like you said, like, could be, and I was told, you know, as a kid, like, hey, you're born here. This is probably what your outcome is going to look like. And my parents made a good decision to expose me to as much as possible. Like, that's why I said love. Shout out to nonprofit organizations and people doing their philanthropic work, because SEMA, we was talking about SEMA before we got on air, and we were talking about, you know, different, you know, youth leagues that are exposing youth to life. And that is what is needed in development. Like, people like throw this youth development word around, but what does that really mean? Like, oh, like talking at them. Like, no, like development requires what? For them to actually grow and to prosper and to be different. So shout out to you for making yes, we're going to stop at the Nike.
Well, let me say this though, because I wouldn't even say shout out to me. So this beautiful program that we have is grown from like 75 kids. We're knocking on the door to 200 kids now.
Jeez.
The number one most influential piece of this program are the coaches.
Yes.
I got about 15 coaches who have their own lives, their own jobs, their own families. And I'm telling you, this program would not be that without these coaches. These coaches are high school baseball and softball coaches, college coaches, Cleveland police officers, city of Cleveland, like government staff. Like these are truly like dedicated, passionate people. And we take this philosophy of like, if you want to invest in a kid, the number one way to do that is to invest in a coach.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. That's good.
Yeah, and these coaches, I'm telling you, without them, this program does not flourish.
Shout out to the coaches, RBI coaches. You got your official shout out. I'm telling you. All right, so I'm glad that you gave us a little insight to like what this looks like, how it's growing. How do Guardians players get involved?
That's been a beautiful thing to see too, is as our program has grown, so has like how we connect our players and our coaches.
Okay.
So what I would say is I've noticed too, and this is just me speaking on my behalf, so I can't speak about across the country, but the one thing I've noticed is athletes have changed, like their mindset, the way they think. It is no more like, I just want to play and I just want to go back home and, you know, this is just a career. Our athletes, they come to Cleveland, they have an understanding that part of what makes them a professional is performing on the field, first and foremost, because we want them to be here as long as possible. But the other piece is like, how can you impact their life off the field, specifically in Cleveland or Northeast Ohio? And our RBI program is one of those ways that our team rallies around the kids. And so if our kids, like, let's just say they're in a slump, our players are calling them on FaceTime.
Oh my
telling
goodness.
them, like, coaching them up, giving them words of encouragement. Like our kids hosting a birthday party. Our kids are in their DMs, slide me to Addie. They come over with pizza.
What?
Like, it is incredible.
That's amazing exposure and access that they are allowing.
They show up to their games. Next thing you know, like, you know, I'll tell the coach, like, you know, each team has their own coaches, and I'll just say, hey, coach, like, there's a couple guys, like, they told me they're on the way. Can they coach first and third today? And they'll be, oh, they can coach anything they want. So, our players will come and like they see, our kids are focused and prepared for a game.
Yes.
They get on base and like next thing they know is it's a Major League Baseball player coaching them up at first base.
That's dope.
And giving them steal signs or telling them they're like, you scoring, like tag up on us and score. And so,
that's dope.
And the other thing too is like, they won't want me to share this, but every August we call it CLE Inspires Week. And we host, it's called a give-a-thon. And we just ask like our we ask anybody who support us to like support, not just like, you're not supporting us.
Yes.
But you're supporting like the kids, like our young men and athletes who we want to grow up and be very, very successful people.
Yes.
They pass around a hat and they all give. Like they pass around a hat in the clubhouse. They all give. So they find different ways, like whether it be like, giving their time, giving their money, giving other resources, connecting us with groups that sponsor them.
Yes.
To say like, hey, like you should look out for the RBI kids, And
so
it's
glad.
a beautiful thing.
I'm so glad you said that because it's not just you.
Yeah.
I work with athletes all across the country, and I push a lot of them to get out of that mind frame. I call it stinking thinking.
I never, okay.
Stinking
never heard that
thinking.
one.
They're
I
like,
like
okay,
it,
Dr. J. I'm like, no. I have, athletes that got their name on a foundation but don't want to show up. You do it. What you mean I do it? It's say to so-and-so foundation. It's not my name. It's your name. They're waiting for you to show up.
Yeah.
They're invested in you and your playing. They come and they buy your tennis shoes and your memorabilia. Like they're paying hundreds of dollars to see you. People come to see you. So, and you're giving back, they want to see you. And they're like, well, I just want to write a check. I'm like, so I'm pushing them, right? I thank you for writing the check, and sometimes you don't have the time and I get it. But get out of the stinking thinking that this is just a job.
I feel like sometimes too, though, to give players just a little bit of credit. Like one, continue to push them. Like I love like the terminology you got for it. But I also think sometimes players just don't fully understand like the impact like their voice or presence can make.
That's true.
Because sometimes like they may say like, if I'm not the best player on the team, it may not matter as much. But like they don't really understand that like, and not to diminish any player either, but there's a power of a uniform. You throw a uniform on somebody and you just have them show up.
Yes.
There's very much like real power in that,
There is.
And so I think showing them like how that impact is. And like, I think the special thing for us is our players don't just do like a one-time high and buy. This investment that they make in our kids, they establish like real relationships. They know where they are in the school. They know when they're going to graduate. When they see them at games that we don't even invite them to, they'll be playing and they'll just point over to them and, wave. Like they know who these kids are on a first name basis.
I love that.
Our kids make them feel comfortable because they can speak to them in Spanish. That makes them, feel a little bit more at ease. Yeah. So.
No, I'm so glad to hear that about my home team. Like I said, I see a lot of differences in just the mind frame. And I like what you said too. Like they might not understand their impact. And a lot of time I'm spending time helping them find their passion. That's like the first step when they work with Dr. J. It's like, what are you passionate about? What makes you angry? And they're like, what makes me angry? I'm like, yeah, what pisses you off? Like, I want to know. And so, when they talk to me like, oh, I really don't like X, Y, and Z, I'm like, well, sounds like you might have a passion to X, you might want to look into that and how you can have change. And they're like, well, I'm not a starter. Because I work with students in college with their foundations before they even get out of college. Now, we know it, NIL and all that kind of stuff now. They making their money in college. And they're like, well, why would anybody want to listen to me? I'm like, yeah, people care. I went to the Ohio State University for undergrad and I was in the band. And the first time that somebody asked me, like, can I have your autograph? I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm the band girl. What are you talking about? Do I put my name? Do I put band girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? But the sure fact that our band has this exposure in the media and the attention, somebody was like, hey, like she's in the band. I want your autograph. So I think I signed it band girl.
People also understand too, like whether you're in a band or a non-starter, to get to that level, if you went to the Ohio State University, the best damn band in the land. Like people understand, like you probably better than most people at your craft.
There you go.
So like there is something about that. Like,
Yeah.
but sometimes it just don't click still.
It doesn't.
And so like again, like if you're not a starter or you just a career journeyman, like they still got to understand that like you are doing something that like most people will never do in their lifetime.
Indeed. So that's what I'm super excited to hear that we're vested here, and this is a call to action for my athletes and my folks in high exposure industries is to get out there, make a lasting impact, push yourself, to think outside of the box. Like, what else can you do that will lead to sustainability? So that's my biggest thing is it sustainable? So there's a sustainable impact when you touch people personally, kind of like some of our players with the Guardians and some of the stuff that I see in the community. But if you're going to do a nonprofit organization or a foundation or have community impact, how can you put it on legs where it stands longer than your tenure for a team?
That's the goal.
That's the goal. So I deal with a lot of athletes on their way out as they're retiring. And they're like, I used to just fund this out of my pocket. But now I don't think it's going to be able to last.
Check's not the same.
Yeah, like the checks don't be looking the same. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start cutting back a little bit. And so I'm like, hey, so that's when we come in with a sustainability plan. Like, how can we set this on solid ground so that you can continue to have an impact and it makes sense for your transition out your sport so you're not overwhelmed, right? So before you was, doing your sport and you might have had somebody taking care of that. But now they're like, might not be paying them no more, How can you stand it on solid ground?
Yep.
So yeah, that's my little 2 cents about it, to make sure that you have lasting impact. But I'm glad to hear that. So I wanted to say, what role does philanthropy play? And we're going to wrap it up, but what role does philanthropy play in keeping programs like RBI living? So we're talking about sustainability and keeping it on solid ground.
So just thinking about like the longevity of, especially if you got a good program. I think for us, like we just talked about like involvement of players and coaches and even front office staff. The more that they get involved and they understand like the people that we serve,
right,
and they build these real relationships, then one thing that we see after their careers are done, they still feel connected to our city. They're not born here. They only live here for a short period of time that they play here.
Yes.
They may not live here for even full calendar years. They only live here for the summer and the fall.
Yes.
But they still feel an attachment to Cleveland because like these programs. And so like that's one of the ways we try to create some longevity, because once they're done, we want them to still understand like you can still have an impact with people who live here.
Yes.
After you hang it up, we still love you. We still want you to come back,
Right.
And so that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is just, part of philanthropy is just understanding like you serve a lot of kids like in this type of fashion, there are real costs.
Yes.
And there are real ways. And I think it might be easy for a lot of fans or a lot of supporters to just say like, oh, it's the Cleveland Guardians, they should be doing this, or they have the money, like they should do this. But the important piece of this is programs like this are fully funded from Cleveland Guardians Charities, which is a nonprofit, private nonprofit. And we do a lot of fundraising. We do a lot of work. And we just make sure we pour back everything that we get into the people who need it the most.
I love that.
And so as you think about like longevity and building like sustainable programs, that's exactly the goal. Like we just talked about is like, whenever my tenure comes to an end, however that may be, like I want these programs to continue to go.
Yes.
Not even like as they exist today, but like I want them to be better. I want them to like, I understood like when I grew up in Cleveland, I actually played RBI as a little kid.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I grew up.
You should have led with that.
Yeah, I probably should have. I'm sorry. But almost every beneficiary that we support, I grew up firsthand as a recipient of that. And so just understanding like, again, my firsthand lived experience and then understanding like how I can make it better.
Yes.
There's going to be other people that's going to be able to make it better and better. And so I think that's how you do it, is like you lay the foundation and you show like the real impact. You get other people to support you. And again, like now, another shout out even to just like our corporate partners.
Yes.
some of this stuff, some of this work, yes, the world did change. But some of this stuff just didn't exist years ago, where now, like, it is, I'm not going to say it's easy, but people like our corporate community that does business in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio,
Yes.
they understand, like, they play a role in this too.
Indeed.
And they go with us and they amplify our work and they support our kids. And it's just a beautiful thing to see.
And I say, shout out to Cleveland's corporate community. I feel, and just like knowing some of them firsthand, I think they understand their responsibility to Cleveland. And sometimes they don't. And sometimes we have to remind them what their responsibility is to the city of Cleveland. I remember being in a room some years ago. I think it was Mayor Frank Jackson, and he was getting some feedback from some people in the community about people being headquartered in Cleveland. And, and we went in and we was like, okay, so what they going to do for the community? Like what are they prepared to do in terms of their corporate responsibility? If they want to come in and have such and such a space, And so I feel like we are on good ground with that in Cleveland. I think that we have to continue to advocate and hold people accountable, in case they forget what that is and what that looked like.
These people that they support today are going to be working for them tomorrow.
There you go.
Like, and so I think that's a very important piece, is like, you're not just investing in just young people to invest in them, but they're going to be buying your products. They're going to be working for you. Like,
there you go.
This is a legit investment.
I agree. And I mean, I'm sitting here and you're sitting here as recipients
Yes.
of that kind of philanthropy. Mm-hmm. And we are now contributing back to our communities as a result of that. We are now productive citizens with that support.
Yep.
So with that in mind, how can our listeners support the RBI program, or how can they get involved in any other initiatives that the Guardians have?
What I would say is the best way to just follow and to support CLE Inspires on every social media platform. That's our voice where we try to show off not just the good that we do in the community, but the good that other people are doing in the community. If you have a very, very strong story, like, add us. Like, show us. Like, it's not called Cleveland Guardians Inspires for a reason. Like, we want to show off. We want to amplify. We want to use our voice to really, like, show love to people that are doing very, very good things that impact people in our city. The other thing I would say is every August, I think this year it'll be the last week in August. It's our CLE Inspires week.
Okay.
There'll be one day in that particular week, so I'm forgetting the exact date, but it's our annual give-a-thon. And the RBI program is one of like 30 plus programs that we host that impact a lot of people, specifically in Northeast Ohio. Support us. All the money that you give or the way that you support, whether it be just a retweet or a share or whatever that is, like whatever you can do.
Yes.
We pour all that back into our youth. And so I would say, come to the game, support us. Like, you'll see a lot of different promotion come out right around August, but you can follow us on all the platforms right now.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to hear about RBI again. I didn't know about it. And my husband told me about it, and he was like, yeah, it's really dope. And I was like, okay, well, who can I find? And I had already worked with you in the past, and I was like, okay. I was like, let me talk with the folks I know and learn a little bit more about RBI. Sports has a unique power to impact our youth. And I want to talk more about that and baseball. And I don't feel like baseball's talked about enough. For me, I wish it was talked about more. And how it could be a tool for mentorship and leadership and what opportunities lie within that sport as well. So I really appreciate that. So tell people again, where can they go to learn more about RBI and how to support?
All social media platforms, CLE Inspires.
Okay.
You also can go to cleguardians.com/RBI.
Got you. So CLE Inspires. So I'm going to go there right away.
Please, thank you. I'm
going to follow, and I'm going to make sure I put it in the notes for this podcast so everybody has that information. I just really appreciate you for joining us today. And to our listeners, if you really enjoyed what you heard, make sure you click and subscribe and share and give us some comments about what you thought about learning about RBI and what you learned about possible youth development. that we are seeing throughout the cities with programs such as RBI. But I want us to make a lasting impact together, one play at a time, one check at a time, one resource that you could have kept for yourself, but you decide to give away at a time. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
All right. Peace out.